Have you ever found yourself in a situation where you finish the strategy workshop with your client, you've got all these amazing insights about their business, about their personas, keywords, market positioning, but how are you actually meant to apply these insights and translate them into a web design? Well, this is actually something that many designers seem to struggle with, which is unfortunate because applying strategic thinking to your designs is a really effective way of making your designs achieve business goals. This, at the end of the day, is what your client is actually employing you for. It's why they want to work with you. They want to see an impact to their business. And of course, if you're able to make that impact, you can start to increase your rates significantly. So what I'm going to do in this video is show you a step-by-step of how you can start to apply strategic thinking to your designs so that you can make them more effective and improve your rates. Now, fundamentally, I want to zoom out and explain the 3-step process for applying strategic thinking to your designs. It's actually very simple. The first thing is obviously you're going to do the strategy workshop with the client. You're going to absorb all this information. And then what you can do is basically combine it with all your experience, all of your knowledge, and your intuition as a designer. And when you make that combination, that's what's going to give you the foundation to start making decisions about the look and feel of the design, some of the UX, UI decisions that are going to guide the user towards the conversion. You're going to start to think about things like messaging and how you can start to write messaging that really appeals to the personas that you've produced in the workshop. And so it's really just this simple 3-step process of taking these insights, applying them to your knowledge, and then making decisions based on them that lays the foundation of applying strategy. Now, a crucial mistake that a lot of designers seem to make here is that they think that this is a one-off decision. This is something that happens directly after the workshop. You take this information and then you make an instant decision about everything about their brand, including the primary color, the look and feel, everything in just one go. And the truth is, it's actually a lot more like making many, many micro decisions as you go through the entire process, from the beginning of the project right through to the presentation at the end. When you start to think of applying strategy as a continual process that happens over the entire project, this is where you're going to start to see a lot of really great results in your designs. And so what I'm going to do now is take you through a typical web design process and show you how with every single step that you take, you can start to bring in these insights and use them to make great decisions about your designs. So let's get started with just after you've finished the workshop. At this stage, I would say that the best thing you can do is digest the strategy. And what this looks like is taking all of this nebulous information that's kind of disconnected and siloed and trying to bring it together into one simple narrative. If you can do this and really simplify, what is the story of this client? What are all these insights kind of telling me? Can I explain these insights to, say, a friend of mine who has no idea about this client? Could I explain it in a simple way? If you can do that, then you can memorize it easily, and that's going to make it far, far easier for you later on to start to recall these strategic insights and use them when you're making these micro decisions. The next stage, once you've fully digested the strategy and you've got it clear in your mind, you're going to move into the mood boarding and kind of inspiration phase where you start to draw inspiration from many sources. So at this stage, it's really crucial for you to use these insights to guide your searches online. Make sure to use the keywords that you've already defined with the client in the workshop. That way you can start to get a feel for the look and feel that would be appropriate for the website. You can use your personas to start to look at websites that appeal to a similar demographic. You can use your competitor analysis to take a look at what are the competitors up to, what kind of design decisions have they made, and how can you start to differentiate from them. You can use the market positioning to start to look at what kind of styles would best convey that unique market positioning. So for example, if their market positioning is that they're environmentally friendly and good value, you could then look at other websites that have a similar market positioning in different industries and see what kind of styles and tones they use to convey that through their brand. And what you might want to do at this stage is create mood boards for each of these different types of insights. So one mood board for your keywords, another one for your personas, another one for competitor analysis, and another for market positioning. And once you can see each of those, you can start to pick and choose your favorites from each of those mood boards and bring them into one. And this is going to be like your final mood board or your final stylescape that will guide your design decisions from this point onwards. Once you've got this ideal mood board that's based on all of these insights, it's going to be time for you to then start to put together some wireframes. For me, when I'm putting together a simple wireframe for the website, I like to bring in some ideas for what kind of copy would be really effective there. So this is really where you can actually start to use the personas and think about, okay, what were the big problems that our personas had and how can we communicate the key benefits to our personas? And so it's really great at this stage to really keep in mind who we're talking to and making sure that it's going to be really appealing to them. Of course, also whilst creating your wireframe, you want to consider what was the key goal that the website was meant to achieve and how can you start to make UX, UI decisions that will guide the user towards that conversion. Some examples of goals that your client would want the website to achieve would be driving people towards a sales page, or collecting emails with a newsletter, or to simply communicate what does the product do and how does it work. Each of these different business goals is going to directly affect how you think about the structure of the website. Once you've produced your wireframe, it's going to be time to get into the design execution, basically combining the look and feel that you've produced from your mood boards with the wireframe to produce your initial first draft of a website. So at this stage, you're going to be in your design tool looking for different design solutions. And so I think a really important thing for you to do here is to take all of the strategic insights and then keep them very close to your artboard so you can always look back and refer back to them. So if you watched my 20-minute brand video or my 20-minute website video, I always made sure the keywords were right next to my design so I could always link back to them, ensuring that I was staying on track with the look and feel I wanted to go for. Once you have that first draft of your web design completed, it's time to take a step back and just look at it as a whole and see, is all this working together? Is it all cohesive? And is it as a whole adhering to the strategic insights that we've defined? So once again, you're checking back in with your positioning, your personas and keywords, your competitor analysis, and you're making sure that everything is aligned. And it's very likely at this stage that you will actually notice that actually it's not quite hitting the mark in certain ways, and perhaps you need to dial something up or strip something back, or you need to bring a new element in to get that message across. And it can be very helpful at this stage to send your design to a trusted designer friend who can give you honest feedback about your design and can tell you whether it's hit the mark based on the strategy that you've defined. And what I do here is make a list of all the different changes that you think you need to make, then move into the next stage, which is the design and UX refinement. This is practically where you apply all this feedback that you've seen or your design friend has seen, start to make everything way more aligned and consistent with the strategy. Doing this will bring you into the final phase of the design, where the design itself has the right look and feel and it evokes the right gut feeling in the customer, where the actual UX is driving people towards the desired conversion, and where the messaging is well written and highly appealing to your target audience. Once you've got all this together, your website is going to be ready to present to the client. And one key thing I want to stress here is that it's so important that before you show your client the final design, is that you take them through every single decision that you've made in terms of, this is the strategy, these are the insights that we derived from our strategy workshop, and here is how I've translated them into design decisions. When you do this, it really bolsters the credibility of your designs and it justifies every single decision that you've made, making the impact of showing this design to your client really hit home. And not only will you find the resulting designs are more effective, the client will actually see that the decisions you've made have been based on strategic thinking, and that will actually lead them to seeing you as more of an expert. So I hope that video was helpful. If it was, make sure to leave a like. And if you have any further questions about applying brand strategy insights to your designs, make sure to leave them in the comments. If you want to learn more about running brand strategy workshops, then I would highly recommend you check out Rand's course. There's a link in the description. That's everything from me, so I'll catch you in the next one.